everybody, it's Emily, and for this month's Technique Tuesday, we're focusing on foil. I have my A2 card base with a TCW A2 4-layer card stencil that I'm going to be using today. It is a flower, and what's great about the stencil is that it's numbered on each side. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but there's a 4 there, and it has the different numbers for you to show you which order to use the stencils in. So I'm going to start with this first one here, which is the leaves, and just making sure it lines up perfectly with my card, and then I will place it down onto my desk here with some washi. Here's the Tacky When Dry medium gel, and I'm just going to do a thin layer with a stencil butter knife here. What's great about this foil is that you don't need a machine or anything to do this, use the transfer foil sheets. You just need this gel and then the butter knife and the foil. So it's super great, really simple. And then in order to lift up the stencil, push down one corner and pull it up from the other, and that typically helps to keep it all in one spot where you want it. So there's my Tacky When Dry gel. So just looking at it now, it's been a couple minutes or 10 minutes or so, and the stickiness is there still. So I'm going to grab my foil, and this is the green. And on the back of all the foil, there's a little silver. So you do actually want to put that backside down on your stencil. And then you're just going to use your fingers and rub the foil onto the stenciled part. And now we are ready to reveal the foil here, and you can see the green, and look at that beautiful shine. Such pretty shimmer. It adds such a cool effect to your cards, just something different and unique if that's something that you don't typically use. I really love it. So now we're moving on to the second part of the stencil here, and I've decided to use a couple inks for these next two parts of the stencil, so the main part of the flower. I've decided to use some Distress Oxide from Tim Holtz, and I decided on Oxide because they're really beautiful colors and great for blending. So just stenciling that on like you normally would, and then when you take this apart, you'll see how great that green foil just pops with that orange color. All right, and then we're going to move on to the third part of that stencil, which is a little more detail inside of the flower. So I'm just using a darker orange color from Tim Holtz Distress Oxide. So just again lining up the stencil and taping it down with my washi to keep it in place. And then here I have my carved pumpkin in Distress Oxide, so it's a little bit of a brighter color to see through that darker orange. And this is just going to show up that really beautiful detailed flower. So here's the reveal, and you can see how beautiful those flowers look. And the last part, I wanted to add a little more shine. So these are the center of the flowers. And just again taping down my stencil. And here I decided with some gold. So I have my Tacky When Dry gel again, and just trying to put that down nice thin even layers, and you want them to be as even as possible so that they dry at the same time. So you can see when it goes on, it's just this white color, and then it turns pretty clear. I would say it takes about 10 minutes or so to dry. If you do need to reactivate the tackiness, you can add a heat gun like I am here, and then again putting that foil right down onto the card and then rubbing onto the spots where you have the gel. And you'll see how beautiful that turned out with the center of the flowers. It's nice and shimmery. And if you have any spots that you felt like you missed, you can go over like I am now with your finger and just press over, and you can reuse this foil as many times as you need to in order to get the effect that you want. So look how pretty and shiny that card turned out. And now I have this word stencil that's also from TCW, and it fits perfectly in the center of this other stencil. And I'm just going to try to apply one thin layer of the Tacky When Dry medium paste again. So this is a very simple technique. As you can see, all you need for this is the gel and the foils, and then you peel it off, and you can kind of see here it's just dries on, or it goes on kind of clear white, and then again it takes about 10 minutes to dry, and then you can add your effect, whatever color you want. TCW just came out with a bunch of new color foils, so they're all super beautiful and bright and just adds a lot of vibrancy to your projects. So here you can see I'm just rubbing just wanted to give you a close-up of the rubbing, and you can you'll be able to tell with your finger, and you can see how it says hello beautiful, and you just keep pressing with your fingers, and I feel like the heat from your fingers and the rubbing of it helps a lot with transferring the foil, and pressing like this. I found that pressing on it helps also with the transferring as well. But again, you can use that heat gun if you're feeling like the gel isn't taking onto the foil as well as it should be. But it's a very simple process, something that I think anybody could do. And here is that Hello Beautiful. It turned out so pretty and shiny, and it just adds such a nice effect to your cards. Such a beautiful embellishment. And again, you can always go through and re-rub on spots that maybe missed a little bit of foil. But otherwise, I think it's just such a simple, fun process. And here's another card I wanted to show you that I did with the whole background of the stencil. And I used the different color foils on each of these flowers. And it turned out so pretty and shiny. So I hope this inspires you to use some foil. Thanks for watching.